Hey everybody, and welcome back to Video Game Therapy. I'll be your player one, Marker mobkinz 78. Today we're gonna get a little bit philosophical. We're playing everything, and if points throughout the game ever get muted, it's because something was playing, but I'll try not to play those. Anyway, I don't know, ever since I moved in, I think I just kind of got knocked on routine, so to speak. And it's been all right, but I don't know. Today was a weird one. I'm not entirely certain as to why. That is a question that has yet to be answered. But anyway, I had weird. I was just playing. I sat down to play this game. Playing for about like half an hour now. Because I was just, I don't know. I was feeling philosophical, existential, if you will. And I feel like that's where we're gonna go today, because it got this the voice recordings today got really existential. Anyway, the two things that kind of made me say, you know, I want to talk about this. I want to think about this. Kind of has to do with my whole thing about simulation theory, but the first thing that I read today it was on Instagram. It was discussing Marcus Aurelius, something that he says, and it was something about how, you know, pain is what you choose to bear, in a sense. My takeaway was about writing, to be more specific, and it was about, you know, you should write because you can choose how to direct your pain or something like that. And the second thing was, it was just in this, it was about how we as individuals are defined by the external world, which kind of, I don't want to say makes sense, but makes sense. Who we are and what we decide to do with that is defined by how we perceive the outside world, like it's the existence of the outside world. To kind of give a simpler example, I want to say, is kind of like what is right is defined by what is wrong, or some might say at least. You know, evil only exists because goodness does, and perhaps you might argue vice versa. But yeah, you know, there's one of these audio recordings here, which I'm not going to activate, was all about how we as individuals exist in a world as defined by our external circumstances, I guess, in a sense. Really want to listen to you, but not right now, Mr. Giraffe. So anyway, I feel like there was a third thing. Maybe not. But I don't want to get too specific, but I don't know. Today was weird because I've been in my head a lot. Oh, that's what it was. The third thing. It was just don't let your imagination, like, don't explode things in your imagination, right? The real world isn't that serious sometimes. So, oh, this is such a weird episode. Maybe I'll get somewhere. It's really hot, and I just turned off my fan, and I'm suffering. I'm trying to think of an analogy, or we'll use the example of messaging an old friend, or someone you haven't spoken to in, let's say, 5 years. I wanted to get existential with this, and we're getting there. It's just that things are only as big as you make them to be, right? Because not my whole thing, but one of the things that really changed the way I lived life, so to speak, was just realizing that, you know, everything is defined as far as I see it. Like, sure, other people exist, of course. There are other people in this world, But at the same time, you know, if we live, and this is why I mentioned simulation theory. Let me just read this real quick. As you experience all the universe's things, each thing also experiences you. An impression of everything you've ever been. Transformers. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. Oh, sick. Anyway. Oh, that's a weird sound. um, it's like, there's the question of like, oh, if we live in a simulation, nothing matters, right? But it does. It doesn't matter if we live in a simulation or not. The world is still defined as you see it. I don't really know how to still explain that, but I think all in all, I've just been really getting in my head lately. And it's like, it's annoying me. Also have to worry about people's reactions to things. That's weird visualization. The reason why I brought up messaging an old friend, it's like you can do that. You might think, oh, I don't, you know, maybe they're. I don't even know. I can't even put words to what I was thinking earlier in my situation. It's not too different, but it's very different. But what this game just said, I wonder if there's a way to view. Yes. I think it was definitely in one of these like recordings. It wasn't the wiggly one. One system of behavior might have been. A theory worth betting on. That was fascinating. Here, let me timestamp. I think it was at the end of this because that'll kick me into gear, I think.
What you call the external world.
Okay, here it is.
Is as much you as
your own body. Yeah. I think that was it. The external world is defined as much as your own body is. That was the thing that the third thing that was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna record VGT and talk about this. Even though it took me 8 minutes to get here. Pretty much if I had to explain something to you, I have to explain it in terms of things you already know about. For example, I'm learning Japanese and I was looking at grammar today. And you can't just throw a bunch of symbols at me and not give them any association. The addition of no between two nouns is I believe, is some sort of pairing of those two nouns. And I need to know that. You need to tell me that. So the only way you can explain what that is in Japanese is by telling me in English. For kids, decently similar. It's just that instead of telling in the kid's native language, excuse me, you tell the kid experiences in terms of how they understand the world. And this is like the foundation of things are only as big or small as you really deem them to be. If you're wondering, I'm not leaving this area because I want to unlock this little bubble afterwards. And recently, I think I've just been getting in my own head and my imagination has been blowing issues up. Recently I've been questioning apathy, ambivalence towards a bunch of different things. I don't know what I'm expecting. But yeah, God, I don't even know how to put it into words. I need to get better at this in terms of philosophy, as Alan Watts does in these things. I genuinely think that my life changed when my outlook changed. And oddly enough, it was Sword Art Online that was the catalyst for this existential crisis. But when I realized, like, how much of the world is what I want to make of it. I want to become the boat. I guess I'll kind of say it really quickly, but in you know, sort of online, they're literally in a simulation or a virtual world. And I just remember thinking, oh, if I was in here, I would grind 24/7. But then I realized I'm inside my room on a very nice day playing Animal Crossing and watching TV. And so it's like, if I did live in a simulation, well, clearly I wouldn't be grinding. But oh, if you remove all the distractions, then you could. But you know, that's a whole other thing. I don't know. I think I just need to remind myself, or wait for it to kick in to remind myself of like, the world is how I perceive it and how I choose to perceive it. You know, with YouTube, when that was a problem, I was like, I don't want to stop watching like Moist Critical videos or whatever videos I was watching at the time, because I felt like they were really important, but I get to decide how important they are. And I think that, I don't know if this resonates with anyone else. And if it does, please let me know in the comments. I don't know how much sense I'm making, but that's a simple example I can think of. It's like, I get to deem, oh, is finishing this TV show worth it? Is that important? Sending a message to this person, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Is it its old friend, like, they're not gonna suddenly hate you unless you've done something truly horrible. Excuse me. Or at least I hope they won't hate you. Yeah, why not? It's just a silent one today. Maybe, you know, we'll see if this ever hits the light of day. Perhaps I'll have a better chance to record later this week. It's pretty early on still. But yeah, I've just been in my head a lot. Just got to remember that, like, I don't know, it's not worth getting hyped up over things or letting them bring you down. I mean, it's okay to feel down. It's just like, I need to remember that things are what I want them to be. You know, if you message an old friend, like, you get to, in large part, choose how that interaction goes. I've totally lost my train of thought. Or I could also argue that didn't have it in the first place. I gotta read more, man. Maybe I'll get back to Nietzsche today. And actually, I got a book by Alan de Botton the other day. Maybe I'll jump into that. It's like I get to deem what's important and what I fret over. And yet the smallest things just send me. In some cases, at least. I don't know, man. I've been thinking a lot about apathy as not a general lack of emotion, but more as a lack of wanting. And that, you know, wanting anything. And I don't know. Like when I was with my dad moving in, we were walking down a street, right? I moved back to the city recently, whatever. We were walking down the street and we saw a desk for free. It looked like someone had just moved in and left it outside. They didn't need it. And I was like, oh, we'll come back for it. My dad was like, what? This is a great steal. Like, what? Worst case, it doesn't work out. We come bring it back outside or something. And it was just, I don't know. It was like, it's not like I didn't want the desk. I wouldn't have actively said, no, I don't want it. But it was just like, I didn't want it either. Um, and I don't know. I think that's at the core of things, because if I have a reaction to something, I don't know what it means. Oh, it's 8:20 p.m. Fun stuff. Yeah, this has been as video game therapy as they get. Hi, Mark. I was wondering where you'd got to. By now, you've been able to see a lot here, but not everything. When you first arrived here, there was a golden object in front of you. Do you remember it? I feel distant now, but it's still there. This is a gate. Made by things who weren't able to see how you see. Many things entered it, but weren't able to come back out, so we keep it locked. I'm going to open it for you, but it's up to you if you want to enter. Good luck and take care. You can now descend into the golden gate. The universe was created, but if I tell anyone, it won't live. See, it will matter. Wait, universe was created, but if I tell anyone it won't live, see, it will matter though. I don't really understand what that means at all, but okay. Lion. I don't know, maybe that's the next existential threat is upon me. I should get a book by Camus. I need to, you know, read the books I have. Jeez, tigers are fast, apparently. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this here. I don't know where I'm going anymore, but you know, a lot of Stoic philosophy says that you get to choose what your circumstances define you for or as. You know, Epictetus had a lame leg. He decided whether or not that would let him be sad, is one way to put it, I guess. Obviously it's not easier said than done, but in a lot of ways that can make you so apathetic to situations. And I don't know, I think that's a problem with Stoic philosophy, is that it might bring you to be devoid of all emotions, really. But yeah, we're gonna end it there. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one, but if we get existential on a Saturday, so be it. Thanks for watching and or listening. Of course, share your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, you are defined by your external world, and if you start to see the world as something like you get to choose power over, I don't know. Gotta find some existentialist philosophy to read. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace.